Hello students, I hope that you are all keeping well and defeating coronavirus by staying at home. May God bless you and your family members with good health and spirits. Students, I am Mrs. Noyanika and I'll be teaching Geography to Class 7th. The first term syllabus is first chapter, just mark it in your book. Second chapter, atmosphere. Third will be 7th, Europe. Just mark the chapters in your book for the first term. Next, we'll begin with the, before I begin the topic, each one of you should sit with your textbook and a pencil. And as I explain the chapter page-wise, you should be quick enough to underline the important points as I have done on my book. So, listen carefully and concentrate. All bold words like the lettered words and the pink words should be learned for definition. You should either write in your notebook or you can learn from the book and revise in your notebook. Our first chapter is representation of geographical features. Now what is geographical feature? What do you mean by geographical features? Geographical features refer to the natural features present on the earth. Okay. Now how can you represent geographical features on a sheet of paper? It could be done with the help of a map. So, map is a graphical representation of Earth on a flat surface. And what does map do? Map provides information of our planet. Information could be distribution of population, rainfall, settlements, landforms, etc. And it also shows different sizes, shapes, direction and exact location of countries. Children, to read the map with clarity, we need to know what all details are given on the map. In that case, there are various symbols, colors and labels used on a map which would help you to interpret the map or understand the map clearly. Now, as we know, we have already studied in the previous class, there are two types of, we had studied two types of map. Physical map. Physical map refers to the map which shows the natural features present on the earth like hills, mountains, rivers, lakes, etc. Now, another second type of map was which we have already read, that is political map. Political maps show the political boundaries, states, capitals, etc. Now, third is thematic map. Now, what is thematic map? Thematic map, it gives us the information on a particular theme. Specific theme means particular theme or topic. Such as you can take the topic of rainfall or distribution of population. It could be the crop production. So, thematic map deals with, it gives us the information on a particular theme or topic. You can give an example, rainfall or distribution of population. Next, fourth kind of map is topographic map. Now, what is topographic map? Topographic map is a two-dimensional representation of natural as well as human-made features on the Earth's surface. It shows both human-made as well as natural features which are present on the Earth. For example, water bodies, roads, railway tracks, buildings, etc. Now, in this chapter, we will be particularly studying topographical map. Now, topographical map usually they provide information about the shape of the ground as well as they calculate the height of the place present on the Earth's surface. So they show us the shape and the height of the features present on the Earth. So, just like other maps, like all maps contain scale, legends and north arrow. What is north arrow? North arrow you must have seen on the map. this N is marked on the map. So what does it indicate? It indicates the north direction. Now whenever the map is rotated, the north arrow also rotates with it. Just keep in mind, whenever the map is rotated, the north arrow is also rotates with it. Next, come back to the line. Scale. Now what is scale? As on the maps you must have seen, a particular scale is already mentioned. We cannot depict the full world. This is world map, no? So we cannot show the world as the real world on a sheet of paper. So we take a particular scale to represent it on the sheet of paper. So we mark it over here. This is called a scale. Legends are what are legends? Legends give the explanation of the symbols marked. There are various symbols used on a map, and legends are, if you suppose you have marked this place you can mark over here and you can just name it. What does it indicate? So legends gives the explanation of symbols used on a map. Now there are contour lines present on the topographical sheet or topographical map. What are contour lines? Contour lines are the lines joining point. These are line joining points of equal height above sea level. Okay, they are brown in color. Such brown color, when we just connect it, they indicate the heights, and if we join them, they indicate how steep the area. Suppose you take an example of mountains, they would tell you the height of this above sea level. So they determine the height of physical features such as mountains present in the earth. Next is use of colors on topographical sheets. But now how can we its colors usually help us to read the topographical sheets clearly. So there's a term mentioned over here, children, just see clearly. It is cartographers. Cartographer is a person who makes map. So cartographer uses various colors to represent specific features. You can see black color shows cultural features such as buildings, railways, power transmission lines. Blue color represents water features like lakes, rivers, falls, rapids, swamps and marshes. The rapids are when you have, like, from a surface when the water falls abruptly. Okay, so rapids which fall abruptly means at once, immediately. Swamps, is wet areas. Now green color indicates vegetation, you know very well, such as forests, wooded areas, orchards. Orchards refer to fruit garden. Vineyards are the grapes where you'll find the climbers like grapes. Now next is brown color. Brown color is used to denote contour lines. They show relief features, mountains, height of a place, etc. Then we have red color, which shows they represent roads, main roads, political boundaries, settlements. They represent man-made features. Then we have yellow color, which indicates cultivated areas. Please note down, and this box is very important to learn and mark it. Okay, moving on to the next page. We can see the same explanation of the previous page is given. It is repeated over here. You can just read it, go through it. Next we have scale of the map. Now, as I told you, that it's impossible to draw real world features in a plain paper as large as its true size. Therefore, to represent the real world accurately, maps are being made to a specific scale. We take a particular scale to draw a map. So you can define scale of the map as the ratio of distance between 2 points of the map to the corresponding distance on the ground. So based on the size of the scale, there are two types of maps are classified into small scale as well as large scale maps. Please underline. Small scale maps represent a large area. It shows less details. For example, map of a country. Large scale map, they show a small area but in great detail. Example, map of a town or city is to 25,000. So it means it can also write in the form of fraction like this. As it is written in the form of a fraction, that is why this is called representative fraction. That is 1 centimeter on the map is equal to 25,000 kilometer on the ground. Third way to represent a scale is graphical scale or linear scale. Graphical scale or linear scale. Now graphical scale, this is graphical. We draw the line and visually define the scale of a map. Okay. Now here you can note it down. This is representative fraction way. Okay. This is in the way of statement. This is statement scale, and this is graphical or linear scale. Linear refers to the line scale where this is primary division, and these are subparts are called secondary divisions. You can underline. Statement scale has a statement stating what the distance on the map represents on the ground. Representative fraction describes the ratio between map and the ground distance. They are written in the form of a fraction. Graphical scale visually shows the relation between the distances on the map. You can define this. This is one of the answer. You may just mark it also side by side. This diagram is also important. You may note it down in your copy. Either the previous one or this one. Both can be written. Either of any one can be drawn to represent a scale. 3 ways to represent a scale. Then measuring distance on the map. You know very well, whenever we measure distance in centimeter on a map. Okay, and to measure the same distance we have to convert it into kilometers. Now we take an example. Suppose we take 2 points A, B. These 2 points on a sheet of paper or on a map. It is given, it is 4 centimeter. We have taken a scale. 1 centimeter is equal to 2 kilometers. That is 1 centimeter on map is equal to 2 kilometers on ground. So what could be the distance? If the scale of the map is 1 centimeter to 2 kilometers, then distance between them, the AB like 4.2 centimeter will be 4.2 centimeter into 2. That is 8.4 kilometers on the ground. This on the map, this much distance on the map is equal to 8.4 kilometers on the ground. Okay, we can calculate the actual distance with the 2 points on the ground and the in this way. Next is distance may be calculated using linear scale. Now what do? We take 2 points on suppose these are 2 points given, A and B. Okay, take a strip of paper, just place it right, just mark it on a sheet of paper and transfer this to the scale, the ruler, called ruler, and just see if this is 6 centimeter. Suppose it is 6 centimeter. Then you can take a graphical scale and just place it and measure it in kilometers. Okay, so this is how you can read and find out the distance or calculate the distance of this is one of the way to calculate a distance between 2 points. Next is in case of curved lines. Sometimes you must have seen we have the rivers, winding roads or railway lines. So how can you measure the distance? We make use of twine string. The twine string, it's a thread, okay, which are made up of 1 or 2 or more strands like this. You can just wind it, take the thread along with it, and you can just put from here to this end. You can take the thread, because thread is flexible. Okay, you can take the thread, let it go on, and then align it along the ruler and mark the distance on the paper, and then take it and convert it into distance in kilometers based on the scale of the map. That is what how can you how you can measure the distance of the places between when the area is curved, right? So there's an instrument called opsometer. Opsometer is an instrument to measure curved lines. This is the picture of opsometer. This is how it looks, opsometer. Next is cardinal direction. Directions where we have cardinal and intermediate directions. Now cardinal directions, the four main directions you already know, we have like north, south, east, west. These are four main directions. These are called cardinal directions, and the directions which are in between the main directions are called intermediate because they come in between the two main directions, like northeast, southeast, northwest, southwest. You may note it whenever we are naming the direction, we are placing the main direction, that is north and south first. You cannot write east, north. Always write northeast, southeast, northwest, southwest. Place the main direction first. This diagram is important. Next is conventional symbols. Keep a closer look to it. Conventional signs and symbols are used on a topographical map. Okay, and these are internationally approved set of symbols. You may write in short, internationally approved set of symbols. What do? They help people to interpret any other country's map using these symbols. People all over the world will follow the same set of symbols to understand the map. Correct? The next is types of signs and symbols. Now there are different signs and symbols used in a map. Sometimes letters are used. Bold letters, that is dark letters, are meant for capital city names, like T for tank. T means for tank. Okay, bold letters are, if the letters are bold, it means it's a capital city. The letters are in italics. Italics means if slanting, these are that is meant for a city. And various colors are used, as we have already read in the previous page, that yellow, green, brown are used for landforms. Blue is used to denote water bodies. Then there are certain symbols. You can use certain symbols to represent a certain feature on the map. Like for the church, you can draw the symbol, but you cannot draw any symbol on your own. Whatever set of symbols, this in the next page you can see set of symbols are given. The conventional signs and symbols are already mentioned over here. You cannot change any of the symbol your way. So whatever the symbols are drawn, you have to learn the same way. So this diagram is important from the point of view of exam. Very important. You may just draw it in your notebook and practice it and learn it by heart. Then lines are also used, as we already mentioned contour lines. I explained you, these are the lines joining places that are of same height above mean sea level. They represent highways, roads, railways, and national and international boundaries. Then keys and legends, as I explained you, that keys and legends are mentioned at the bottom of the map. They carry the explanation of different signs and symbols which are used on a map. Suppose you are using for the relief, you are using, suppose this area you are using like this. So you just have to indicate over here what does this mean. So these are what keys and legends are. They interpret the map so that anyone can read the map clearly. Then we have certain signs and symbols, other signs and symbols, like suppose we have to make rough sketches to direct a tourist to reach a particular place. So suppose you have to bus station could be marked with the image of a bus. Rest rooms could be demarcated with the help of restroom symbol. Okay, you can refer to page number 7 for the sample map and just go through, see how the symbols are given for a particular place. This is all what the chapter is. After reading chapter once more, if you come to the exercises, the answers are already written here. Either you may just write on your own, cross check whether the answers are correct. These are the correct answers. Note it down. Next, the book exercises. You all have to note it down carefully. This is 3, 4, 2, 6, 1, 5. Then true, false, 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 true, true, false, true. Then short answer questions are to be done in the fact notebook. So the page is already marked. These are quite simple, you can write on your own, but if you find difficulty, you can note it down. Then coming to the next page, summary. This page number 8, you can cross check where these pages are and note it down carefully. Okay, you can find the answer, read this particular page, and you can write the answers on your own. That could be better, and you can understand the things properly. Right, this is on page number 5. Now this is very important. All of you should get the answer. This is also given at the back of your book, so note it down and learn as one word answer, very important. And with this, we end up with this topic of today. Refer to now whenever you begin the notebook, please maintain a proper. This is how you have to give a proper presentation of work. Write date, draw the columns draw the heading in between the double lines, and just mention and do the work neatly, so that you can you can keep it as a note for your exam, and it will find it easy to learn. And just note it down, this page. In this chapter, definitions are to be learned with the bold black letters in between the chapter also. Learn it thoroughly. Short answer questions have to be done. Long answer questions have to be done. Page number 12, one word answers are to be learned. Draw this and learn. Cardinal and intermediate directions learn. Representation of the scale. Any one can be learned. And this also. Thank you.